we've still got a few minutes. Just relax, devotees. Think of the Lord in your heart of hearts. Yes, so just relax, devotees. Meditate on the Lord and think about His mercy. The mercy of the Lord in giving us this opportunity to have Krishna consciousness. Oh, Krishna, so much. Thank you. But we'll wait, 5 minutes. Sure. We'll start at 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah. You wouldn't have Dana Mora Nityananda, would you? If not, it's not a big thing. It's a nice song. So how is everyone?
Yeah, really good, thanks. The sun's shining as well, which is unusual.
Everyone is happy in Krishna consciousness? Has everyone chanted their rounds for today?
Yes.
Yes? Well done.
We have this bhajan, Dhanamura Nityananda.
Oh, you got it? Sure. Amazing. Wow, you got it. Mahamantra Prabhu's are real. A reservoir of nectar. And is the translation there with it? I guess it is. From Prarthana. You can read it. It's legible enough.
Yeah.
Have you sung this before?
No.
Well, this one we sing to the tune of Shri Guru Charana Padma. But before we sing it, let's go through the translation. Or let's just go through the song. It's a very beautiful song. We're doing a seminar starting this evening on the Panchatattva. This song is, it's about a number of things, but it's about the Panchatattva, or most of the members of the Panchatattva. It's very beautiful. Dhanamora Nityananda, Patimora Gaura Chandra, Pranamora Yugala Kishore. Lord Nityananda is my wealth. Lord Gaurachandra is my master. The youthful divine couple is my life. Advaita Acharya Bala, Gadadhara Mora Kula, Narahari Bilasai Mora. Advaita Acharya is my strength. Gadadhara is my family. Narahari Sakha is my glory. Vaishnavira Padaduli, Tahe Morna Snana Keli, Tarpada Morna Vaishnavira Nama. The dust of the devotees' lotus feet is my bathing water. The chanting of the devotees' names is my satisfaction. Vichara Karya Mane, Bhakti Rasa Ashvadane, Madhyasta Sri Bhagavat Purana. Considering the merits of all Vedic literatures in the light of devotional service, I have concluded that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the best of all scriptures. Vaishnavira Uchishta, Tahe Mora Mananishta, Vaishnavira Namete Ulas. My mind is firmly convinced of the spiritual benefit obtained by eating the remnants of foodstuff left by the devotees. The names of the devotees are my happiness. Vrindavane Chautara, Tahe Morna, Mano Kira, Kahe Dine, Naratana Das. The land of Vrindavan is the enclosure within which I keep my mind. Poor-hearted Naratan Das speaks in this way. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. TK.
Yes.
Apita Yat.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Chaltane.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay, let me finish my champagne. I'm becoming So we, devotees, are having a seminar, a little seminar, tonight and tomorrow night on the Panchatattva. The Panchatattva. Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. Because here, look, our presiding deities are the Panchatattva. So certainly we have to glorify them and try to appreciate them, and as much as we're able, try to understand them, because they are the lords of our lives here in ISKCON Newcastle. Okay, And yeah, okay. You know, it'd be nice sometime. Have you ever had a japa retreat in Newcastle?
No. You did a little workshop with us one time.
Oh, did I?
But it would be nice to do more.
We did it was part of the seminar.
It was 2014 when you came when we got married, and then you did one session with us. It was really nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go. You can follow me, okay? Okay. Janamora Nityananda Atimora Gora Chandra
Janamora Nityananda Atimora Gora Chandra
Janamora Nityananda Atimora Gora Chandra
Janamora Nityananda Atimora Gora
Anamora Yogala Ishora His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Caitanya Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Sangracharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sigohas Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Radha Krishna Govardhanath Shankun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Pancha Tattva Ki Jai. Shri Pancha Tattva Ki Jai. Shri Pancha Tattva Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Shri Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to this humble devotee. Hare Krishna. All glories to this humble devotee. Hare Krishna. All glories to this humble devotee. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. So, we'd like to welcome all of you. Thank you all for coming here this evening on the first of our two-part seminar on the Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya and 5 features. We'd like to welcome all of our listeners online. Let's everyone give our listeners online a big Hare Krishna on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna! I would especially like to thank and welcome our special guest for the next 4 days, His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami. His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami Ki Jai! So, Maharaj is a regular visitor here now in Newcastle. I think maybe for the last 5 years Maharaj has been coming. So we're welcoming him back to Newcastle. But for those of you who don't know him, we just wanted to say a few words. So Maharaj has been practicing Krishna consciousness for 45 years now. Which is humbling, I'm only 37. He's one of the pioneers of the Krishna consciousness movement. He's an initiating guru within the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He's a lifelong monk or a sannyasi. He's one of the leaders of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, a member of the governing body commission. And he's in charge of different areas of the world, such as Mauritius, South Africa, Northwest Russia, Siberia, the Baltics. He first met his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, in 1972, whilst he was studying philosophy at Auckland University in New Zealand. And then the following year, he came to England on vacation, and somehow or another, while he was here, he got caught up in the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the devotees, and he ended up joining the Hare Krishna movement in 1973 in Bury Place in London. He's based in South Africa now, but he travels all around the world, teaching and practicing Krishna consciousness. We're really happy to have him with us. We'd like you to all give him a really warm welcome by putting both hands in the air, and on the count of 3, loudly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare!
Oh, thank you so much. What a warm welcome. Yes, I first came here to Newcastle at least in 1973, distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. And it's nice. It's very nice. Yeah. So here though, let us get down to business, so to speak. Here on the altar we have Panchatattva, so beautiful. In the center with both hands outstretched is Lord Chaitanya, who is the central person of the Panchatattva, and from whom the other members have expanded, basically. Yes, so in the center is Lord Chaitanya. On your left, next to Lord Chaitanya, is Lord Nityananda. On your far left is Advaita Acharya. Just on your right of Lord Chaitanya is Sri Gadadhar, and on the far right is Srivas Thakur. These are the Panchatattva, the members of the Panchatattva. Pancha, of course, means 5, and Tattva means truths. Truths. They have 5 truths, and between them they make up the absolute truth. Yes, they're different features of the absolute truth. Actually, Lord Chaitanya is the complete form. It is not that Lord Chaitanya is just a part of the truth, absolute truth, and Lord Nityananda is another part, and Advaita Acharya is another part, and Gadadhar is another part, and Srivas is a 5th part, and there are 5 parts of the truth. In one sense, it can't be seen something like that, but actually Lord Chaitanya is complete, the complete absolute truth. But in order to display his nature more clearly, in more distinct ways, so Lord Chaitanya has expanded himself into the other 4 forms. Yes. So anyway, this is what we're going to be discussing this evening and tomorrow evening. And this is what we're going to be discussing. That's just by way of a little introduction. So now, let us begin by reciting some mantras you can repeat after me. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna. Let us begin. Let us begin by reading a series of verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, as presented to us by Srila Prabhupada, of course. These are verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 7, which is titled Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. In other words, subject matter. is the Panchatattva. And let us begin by reading verse 4. Oh, okay, you're going to put it up there. Here, let me begin. Purve Gauravadi Chaya. Purve Gauravadi Chaya Tattve Kaila Namaskara Guru Tattva Kahiyachi Ebe Panchera Vichara. In the beginning, I have discussed the truth about the spiritual master. Now, I shall try to explain the Panchatattva. I'm just going to read the verses here. Panchatattva, this is now verse 4. Panchatattva avatirna chaitanyera sange Panchatattva lana karen sankirtana range. These 5 tattvas incarnate with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus the Lord executes his Sankirtan movement with great pleasure. Let's see, okay, verse 5. Panchatattva ekavastu nahi kichu beda rasa asvadite tabu vividha vibeda. Spiritually, there are no differences between these 5 tattvas. Remember, tattva means truth. For on the transcendental platform, everything is absolute. Yet, there are also varieties in the spiritual world. And in order to taste these spiritual varieties, one should distinguish between them. Let us just consider that for a moment. We've already alluded to this point, just touched on it, that the absolute truth is complete as Lord Chaitanya on his own, there in front of us in the middle, with his hands outstretched. He's complete. He contains all of the other 4 members. So in a sense, you could say that there's no particular need for the other 4, because whatever is within the other 4 is within Lord Chaitanya. So let us just focus on Lord Chaitanya. And of course, Lord Chaitanya is such a personality, and his nature is such, and his pastimes, his characteristics, qualities, and so on are such that we could have a seminar, devotees, we could have a seminar for 1 week just on Lord Chaitanya. Yes. But now, this is an interesting point, as stated here. Yet there are also varieties in the spiritual world, and in order to taste these spiritual varieties, one should distinguish between them. In this case, them meaning the different members of the Panchatattva who are expanded from Lord Chaitanya in different ways and manifesting different of his qualities and characteristics. Each one in different ways is manifesting certain particular qualities and features of the nature of Lord Chaitanya. But because they are separated from him, literally separated from him, therefore it makes it easier to understand whatever it is about them, their special personal characteristics. And in that way, because they're special personal characteristics, in the initial sense we were saying, they're just characteristics of Lord Chaitanya. So therefore it's helping you understand Lord Chaitanya in more detail. Yes. In a sense, here's a little, just a thought. Consider this. You know, you buy, I don't buy, but some people buy these commercial perfumes, right? I don't know much about these things. Fortunately. But people buy them. And sometimes they pay quite a lot. Did you know that these commercial perfumes, it varies of course, but usually only plus or minus 5% of what you've purchased in the bottle is the actual perfume, the actual scent. The other, it varies, but let us say, plus or minus 95% is alcohol. Did you know that? Well, you've just learned something tonight. It's a fact. You're paying good money for something which is, very diluted from the real essence, that fragrance. But the reason for that, of course there are different reasons. Some commercial make it go further. But one important reason is these perfumes are highly concentrated. And if you just use the actual perfume, the scent itself, it's so concentrated and made up of so many sort of different types of fragrances all put together. If you just smelt the fragrance undiluted, it might be too much for your nose. It might actually be too much. Or you would just get this strong fragrance and you wouldn't be able to pick up the details, the particular features of the fragrance. Am I making sense, or should I have not brought that up? Yeah. It's an interesting point. Yeah. It just kind of overpowers the nose. And therefore it actually helps to dilute it, because then you can identify different sort of characteristics of fragrance. So similarly, Lord Chaitanya is concentrated God. Concentrated God, you could say. But he has so many features and characteristics and qualities. It becomes easier to appreciate them when they're sort of spread out a little more. And in these cases, certain personalities have certain particular parts of that nature of Lord Chaitanya, which they display in very vivid ways. So you can really focus on that particular aspect of the nature of the Lord, and it all becomes clearer. What is the significance of that particular feature of the nature of the Lord? And you get the idea. Mm-hmm. Have I lost anyone completely? Yeah, in the forest. Okay, yeah. So in order to taste these spiritual varieties more clearly and sort of focus on them more, So they're divided up and distributed amongst these different personalities, and it helps appreciate more. And ultimately, what we're appreciating, of course, each one of them, they're individuals in and of their own rights. But by appreciating the qualities when they're divided up amongst these different people, ultimately helps you to appreciate the ultimate possessor of all the qualities, which is Lord Chaitanya. So namaste. Take care. Follow. Yeah, okay.
Straightforward.
Okay, let's carry on. What now? We're going to read verse 6. This is a very famous verse. And you know, on what Sunday, isn't it? We're going to be having small initiation ceremony here. Small, but very nice. And His Grace, Chaitanya Vallabha Prabhu, is going to be performing the ceremony. And amongst various other mantras, he will chant this mantra. It's a very sort of definitive mantra or verse. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Let me offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, who has manifested himself in 5 as a devotee, an expansion of a devotee, an incarnation of a devotee, a pure devotee, and devotional energy. It might sound a little confusing, or at least not so clear, but here you see, he manifesting himself in 5 as a devotee. That is Lord Chaitanya himself. Then, as an expansion of a devotee, that is Lord Nityananda, because he is the first expansion of Lord Chaitanya. As an incarnation of a devotee, that is Advaita Acharya. As a pure devotee, you know who that is? Thank you for the wonderful suggestion, but yeah, it's actually Srivas. So to put him, Gadadhar and Srivas, around the other way in this verse. And then the devotional energy is Gadadhar, who is Radharani, who is the energy, the pleasure, potency, Shakti, Bhakti Shakti of the Lord. So yeah, it's just a pure devotee, devotional energy. Normally we say Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. But here Gadadhar and Srivas have been put around the other way. Pure devotee is Srivas, and devotional energy is Gadadhar, who is Radharani. Okay, let's carry on. What shall we do now? I'm going to carry on a few more verses. Okay, let's go to verse 10 of the mantra Prabhu. Ekale Ishvara Tattva Chaitanya Ishvara Bhakta Bhava Maya Tanra Shuddha Kalevara Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Controller, the one personality of Godhead, has ecstatically become a devotee. Yet his body is transcendental and not materially tinged. And let's go on to verse 11. Krishna Madhuryera Eka Adbhuta Swabhava Apana Ashvadite Krishna Kare Bhakta Bhava. The transcendental mellow of conjugal love of Krishna is so wonderful that Krishna himself accepts the form of the devotee to relish and taste it fully. Let us just now explore this point, because this is a very foundational point actually in terms of understanding the Panchatattva and understanding Lord Chaitanya. Why did Krishna, who is Lord Chaitanya first of all? Who is he really? Well, he is Krishna, but he is not just Krishna. As Chaitanya Bhagavat says, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nae Anya. Which means that Lord Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, is Nae Anya, none other than Radha and Krishna. You see, an explanation which is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, a little elsewhere, is this, that when Lord Chaitanya, when Lord Krishna returned to Goloka Vrindavan, having performed his pastimes here 5,000 years ago. Yes. So he was considering how wonderful it was when he was here having those pastimes with his devotees. And he considered that they were serving me, my devotees were serving me so nicely. I was enjoying it so much, practically unlimitedly. So wonderful. So he's considering all this, thinking about all this. Then an idea, something occurred to Lord Krishna in his mind. Some realization came, like a revelation. Even Krishna gets revelations. That, even though I was enjoying so much being served by the devotees, however, it seems to me that they were getting more enjoyment from serving me than I was getting from being served by them, although he was getting so much enjoyment from being served by them. But it seemed to him they were getting more enjoyment. The nectar is in being a servant. Yes. So, Lord Krishna thought about this. And he thought of different of those devotees and how happy they were compared to how happy he was. And he thought of, one of the devotees of Vrindavan. This devotee, whoever it may have been, was enjoying 50% more than me by serving me. Even though 50% more than I was enjoying by being served by him or her, whoever it was. Then he thought of some other devotee. This other devotee was enjoying twice as much as me. That's a lot, isn't it? Double the enjoyment. And then he thought of another devotee. And that other devotee was enjoying 5 times more. Can you imagine? It's very hard. But 5 times more than he was enjoying. Yeah. through serving him. And then he thought of another devotee, and that other devotee was enjoying 10 times more. Then another devotee was enjoying 20 times more, and someone else 50 times more. And one of the gopis was enjoying 100 times more. See, we are off the scale. Our minds cannot comprehend this clearly, but at least, some idea can be there. Then he thought of perhaps one of the ISKCONs, close associates of Lord Chaitanya, of Srimati Radharani. That ISKCON was enjoying, where did we get to? 50 times? 100. We got to 100. That one was enjoying 1,000 times more. Krishna's head was spinning. And then another one was enjoying 10,000 times more. And someone like maybe Vishaka Gopi was enjoying 100,000 times more. Someone like Lalita, 1,000,000 times more. And then he thought of Srimati Radharani, and he understood she was enjoying 1 koti, 10 million times more than he was enjoying. She was enjoying 10 million times more by serving him than he was enjoying by being served by her. And when Krishna realized that, that was it. And Krishna said, I've had it. I've had it. I want to be a devotee. This is where the nectar is. I'm missing out. Who wants to be God? I'm going to become a devotee. This is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And so then he appeared as Lord Chaitanya. There are different descriptions in different places of different happenings which inspired Lord Krishna to appear as Lord Chaitanya, as a devotee. Let me tell you another one. Devotees, listen to this. One time in Goloka Vrindavan, in Dwarika, that part of Goloka Vrindavan, in the kingdom of God, Rukmini Devi, Krishna's main queen, received a message that your dear husband, Lord and Master, Lord Sri Krishna, is on his way. He has come to visit you. How did she get that message? I don't know. WhatsApp? Messenger? A quick SMS? When Prabhupada came to the West for the last time, 1977, he came just to Bhaktivedanta Manor. And I was there. And I was walking along the hallway, and then you turn right and you go up to the temple room. So there used to be a public telephone there, right on the corner. I was walking past, it was in the afternoon sometime, and the public telephone rang. And I answered the public telephone, and this voice from the moon, if not the moon, it may have been Mars, although it was India actually, said something like, Prabhupada is coming. Bang! And that was the end.
Prabhupada is coming.
Yeah, it was very difficult. Prabhupada is coming. End of call. In those days, In those days, if you wanted to phone India, you had to book a call for the next day. Call the operator, and they'd tell you, okay, we'll call you back tomorrow. They wouldn't give you a time. You just had to be there. Yeah. And if you weren't there and they called, tough luck. So anyway, yeah, how did she get that message? Well, what we did, just, it's very interesting. We had one devotee there, his name was Bhakti Christos. He was American, sort of Greek American. And he was what you would call a fast talker. Oh yeah. He could sell you, he could sell me this garland, which I'm wearing. He could sell it to me, and I would pay him for it. You follow what I mean? Yeah. He could sell you your bead bag. So we got back to Christos on the line to call the operator. So he called the operator. Said, yes, we have a party here. They're going to die in 5 minutes. We need to get through to India. So we got through on the spot. They put the call through. But that temple didn't know anything about Prabhupada coming. So we had to call another temple. We had to call 6 or 7 temples. Normally, it would be impossible. We got through to all of them within 20 minutes, and we found out Prabhupada was coming. Anyway, that's really just by the way. But somehow Rukmini Devi found out Krishna's coming. So she got all her assistants. They quickly cleaned the palace. And Krishna arrived. And Rukmini Devi was in such ecstasy. My beloved Lord and Master and husband has come to see me. It is just so wonderful. She collapsed on his lotus feet at the doorway and just crying tears of ecstasy on her feet. And Krishna saw this, he was taken aback. And he couldn't understand. And Krishna thought, she seems upset. She was actually happy. But Krishna, it was such a sort of a shock, he couldn't understand. And he said, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she said, nothing's wrong. I'm just so happy to see you. It's wonderful. And Krishna said, no, I can tell something is wrong. Something is wrong. Please tell me what it is. No, nothing is wrong. I'm just so happy to see you. It's so wonderful. But Krishna couldn't understand. She took him in, sat him on a throne or some sort of nice seat there, bathed his feet, but then she was crying on his feet. And Krishna saying, tell me, what is wrong? What have I done? I have offended you. No, I'm not offended. And Krishna became really disturbed. And Krishna said, I don't understand. What is it? What have I done? What is going on? I don't understand. And Rukmini Devi said, my Lord, that is the problem. You don't understand. Even though you are the Supreme Lord, you are omnipotent, and you're meant to be omniscient, all-knowing. But despite that, there is one thing you don't understand. And until you understand this one thing, how can you really say that you are the Supreme? This thing is so important. And Krishna's like, what is it? What is it? Tell me what it is. And Rukmini Devi said, you do not understand how much your devotees love you. You don't understand. And for Krishna was like, wow, you're right. You're right. I don't understand it. So how can I understand? I've got to understand. And Rukmini Devi said, you will never understand unless you become a devotee. You have to become a devotee. Then you can understand. But if you don't become a devotee, you'll never understand. But, not just any devotee, like one of the sort of normal devotees from ISKCON Newcastle or ISKCON Sunderland or wherever. You've got to become a special devotee. You have to take the position of Srimati Radharani. Then only will you understand this. And then only will you be able to say that you are complete. And so Krishna said, yes, you're right, that's it. I never thought of that. I have to do that. But how am I going to do that? At that moment, who should walk in? But Narada Muni. Yeah. And Narada Muni came and offered his obeisances to Lord Krishna. And he's getting up. And Lord Krishna saw Narada is upset. Something is wrong. He's not happy. So he asked Narada, what is the problem? And Narada said, my Lord, I have just come from the material world. It is Kali Yuga. And it is bad. It is really, really bad. And I just came from some place called New Tossal, New Kusal, New something new, but it wasn't very new. Newlands West. Old. No, it was new, but it was old. Yeah, that's it. It was Newcastle. And there, things are too bad. It's hopeless. It's hopeless. I was there. I tried. Narada Muni said, I tried to help the people by giving them Krishna consciousness. I couldn't help them. They were just too entangled and bewildered. My Lord, there's only one thing which will help them. You have to go. You have to go. Only you can help them. It's beyond anyone else. So, but Narada Muni said, but the thing is, there's a very important detail here, he told the Lord, that if you go like you normally go, as the Supreme Lord, showing your powers and your grandeur and all that, then these people, the way they are, if they're impressed by someone, they copy that person. So if you come and show that you're God, they will copy you. And they will try to become little gods. avatars. So you can't do that. You're going to have to go as a devotee and show them what it means to be a devotee. And then they'll copy you and they'll become devotees. And that'll be good for them. And Lord Krishna said, right, that's it. And then he manifested the combined form of himself and Radharani as Lord Chaitanya. So this is another incident. There are other stories. There are other stories also. Authorized stories from great personalities. But that's another one. So yes, this is the bottom line here. This is the point. That Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, but in the mood of a devotee. How did he get the mood of a devotee? Because Radharani is there with him. Actually, with him. So therefore he has that mood. And therefore Lord Chaitanya, even though he's Krishna, but he's more merciful than Krishna because of Radharani's presence. Radharani is very kind. Srila Prabhupada explains in one class on a Radhastami day one time. Prabhupada was talking, Srila Prabhupada said, Srimati Radharani is so kind to those who are devotees or who are just trying to be devotees or they're just little bit devotees. If she sees that you are trying to do some service for Krishna, even though it's not much, even though you're not doing it very well, but if she sees you're trying to do even something small for her beloved Krishna, Radharani feels, what a wonderful person, what a wonderful devotee. This person is pleasing my Krishna. How wonderful. And then Radharani, Prabhupada continues, Radharani goes to Krishna. And Radharani says, Krishna? Krishna says, yes. Krishna? Down in, what's the name of it? Newcastle. There is one devotee there, named, ... fill in the blank. Maybe it's you. But anyway, there's one devotee there, and I want you to accept this devotee. And when Radharani says that, Krishna immediately, yes, I'll accept that devotee. And Prabhupada makes the point, you may be fool and rascal number one, ek number. You may be the very one, greatest fool and rascal. And, of course, there are many competitors for the title of greatest fool and rascal. To actually become the greatest fool and rascal, that's not easy. But you may be that one. You may actually be that very one. But if you do a little service for Krishna somehow, even by accident, and Radharani then goes and recommends you to Krishna, that's it. Krishna will accept you, and your life is complete. This is Radharani. So when that very merciful Radharani joins Krishna in the body of Lord Chaitanya, then we see Lord Chaitanya is very merciful. Very merciful. Krishna is described as Madhurya, sweet, very sweet. But Lord Chaitanya is Audarya, very merciful, very merciful. So there you go. That's a little background there. And you want to hear an interesting point? Amongst the there's so many different forms of Krishna. And this is also discussed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that all of them, except Krishna, they all have sort of an underlying mood. They all feel they're servants of Krishna. And therefore Jiva Goswami, one of our great acharyas, he says, if you ask Krishna, who is God? Krishna says, me. If you ask Lord Balaram, who is Krishna's first expansion, all the others, they're coming after Lord Balaram. If you ask Lord Balaram, who is God? You know what Balaram says? Krishna. Yeah, Krishna. He can say me also. There's nothing wrong with that. He can say that he is God, but he doesn't. He says Krishna is. And then you ask him, so who are you then? He says, I'm a devotee of Krishna. Yeah. So Lord Chaitanya, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with Radharani mixed. Lord Nityananda is Balaram. The first expansion, but in the mood of a devotee. Let's see if we should read another couple of verses more. Yeah, let's read another couple of verses. This is now 12. Ite Bhakta Bhava Dare Chaitanya Goswami Bhakta Swarupa Tanra Nityananda Bhai. For this reason, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Teacher, accepts the form of a devotee and accepts Lord Nityananda as his elder brother. Then 13. Bhakta Avatara Tanra Acharya Goswami Etina Tattva Sabe Prabhu Kari Gai. Sri Advaita Acharya is Lord Chaitanya's incarnation as a devotee. Therefore these three tattvas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Goswami, are the predominators or masters. 14. Eka Mahaprabhu Ara Prabhu Dui Jana Dui Prabhu Seve Mahaprabhura Charana. One of them is Mahaprabhu, and the other two are Prabhus. These two Prabhus serve the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, of course, means, well, Prabhu means master. Maha means great. So Mahaprabhu means the great master. And the other two, Nityananda and Advaita, they're Prabhus, they're masters. Okay, anyway, so let us discuss these things a bit. It's such an interesting subject. Such an interesting subject. That Lord Chaitanya, he is Krishna. He is Krishna, but in the mood. Radharani is there, but he is Krishna. The way Radharani manifests, observably you could say, in the character, in the person of Lord Chaitanya, is the mood. the mood. Yeah. And the mood is the mood of being a devotee. So if we observe, if we study the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, then we see that generally he's just in the mood of being a devotee. Sometimes he gets into the mood, or he shows somehow the mood of him being the Lord comes out. Particularly from time to time, if devotees were mistreated, Lord Chaitanya would start manifesting the mood of Krishna. You know, there's the great classic story of Jagai and Madai. They offended Lord Nityananda. And, you know, we'll talk about that and the personality of Lord Nityananda shortly. But basically, as things sort of developed in that whole pastime, they offended, they actually physically attacked Lord Nityananda. And when that happened, Lord Chaitanya, he entered into the mood of the Lord. Yeah. Into the mood of the Lord. And particularly in the sense of being the protector of the devotees and the punisher of those who offend the devotees. So Lord Chaitanya, when Lord Nityananda was attacked like that, Lord Chaitanya came and he manifested the Sudarshan chakra, yeah, the disc, which is sharper than a razor blade. You know how sharp a razor blade is? It's much sharper. Now you practically look at it and it cuts you. If you just, you know, not like knock it, but if you just somehow touch it, it'll cut you. So he came racing there, calling out, chakra, chakra, chakra. And he manifested the Sudarshan chakra. And he was just about, it was almost good night for Jagai and Madai. It was so close. But Lord Nityananda stopped him. Yeah? So sometimes Lord Chaitanya would manifest the mood of Krishna, because he is. But normally, that mood was covered over, overpowered by the mood of Radharani. You know, another time that Lord Chaitanya manifested the mood of Krishna, of being the Lord, was in the pastime of the deliverance of Chandkazi. The Chandkazi was a Muslim ruler of parts of Bengal, substantial part of Bengal, and just like a governor really. And he was anti, you know, like many Muslims, don't tell them I said this, but anti sort of anyone who's not a Muslim. Yeah. You know, they have such charming ideas, fascinating and endearing ideas. Like if you're already a Muslim somehow, but you change your mind and you want to get out, then, you know, the only sort of appropriate way of dealing with it is you should just be killed. Anyway, let's not go into such things, but he was a heavy Muslim. He was a very heavy, very aggressive Muslim, the Chandkazi. So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya was starting the Sankirtan, well, not exactly the Sankirtan movement. Leading up to starting the Sankirtan movement by gathering the devotees in the house of Srivas Thakur, the fifth member on your right there. And they were having kirtan all night for 1 year. For 1 year. They had kirtan all night. And this is serious kirtan. We had a kirtan a little while ago this evening. And it's nice. Any kirtan's nice. But those kirtans, they were in another dimension. They're just in another dimension. So they'd have kirtan all night, and then the morning would come, and then what would they do? What do you think they would do? Would they go home and sleep? Because we didn't sleep all night, we had to make up for it. We will sleep during the day. No. They just carried on with their duties during the day. And then the evening would come, and they'd gather at Srivas Thakur's house again, and it'd be kirtan all night. So when did they sleep? They didn't really sleep much. They didn't really sleep for 1 year. It was very amazing. But then the devotees got really inspired. They got really inspired. And they decided, hey, let's take it out and distribute it and give other people the opportunity and the mercy. Let's do it. Right, yeah. So they got inspired and they went out a little way. And the Qazi sent the Qazi came himself actually and broke the mridanga. Yeah? And told them, you do this again, you are finished. So they came back to Lord Chaitanya very disturbed. And, we were so inspired, but what do we do now? So Lord Chaitanya, he got really angry. And he manifested the mood of Krishna. We are going out. And we will have a Harinam Sankirtan party like there has never been. So they called all the devotees and just everyone, the friends of Krishna and just the Hindus and just everyone. And they had a massive Sankirtan party from Srivas Thakur's house, which is, the place is still there, down to a few kilometers where the Chankazi's Samadhi is now, in the Mayapur area. And as they went along, people gathered, and there were hundreds of thousands. By the time they reached there were millions of people. And Lord Chaitanya was in this mood. Let the Chandkazi come. Let him come. We'll destroy him. He wants to try and stop the Sankirtan movement. Let him try. He was in a very dramatic mood of Krishna. Like, destroy the demons. You know what it says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 8? Who can tell me? 9:8. Without looking at your telephone. 9:8? At least you tried. And at 9, not 9, 8, 4, 8.
Oh,
Krishna comes to destroy the miscreants.
Yeah. But what does he say? Paritranaya sadhunam
Vinashaya.
vinashaya chatuskitam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavani yuge yuge. So in this regard, the particular line is vinashaya chatuskitam. Duskritam means the demons. Vinash. Nash means to destroy. Vinash. V is a prefix of emphasis. Very. So vinash means very destroy. Not just ordinarily destroy, but very destroy. So this is Krishna's mission. He comes to just devastate, annihilate, obliterate the demons. Lord Chaitanya was in that mood. But otherwise, like I said, we could have a seminar for a week just about Lord Chaitanya. His different moods at different times. Generally, he was in the mood of a devotee. At least, for his first so many years, like 16, 20, until his father passed away, Lord Chaitanya had manifested a very unusual mood. Very unusual. We will not go into it too much because it might cause a little confusion. But Lord Chaitanya initially was not showing that he's God, hardly ever. There were some times, but very rare, as a child. And also not showing himself as a devotee, but showing himself as a very brilliant non-devotee. And one of his classmates at school was Gadadhar, just next to Lord Chaitanya on our right. And Gadadhar was a devotee. And Gadadhar would try and preach to him, but Lord Chaitanya would just mock him. We'll talk more about that tomorrow when we talk about Gadadhar. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya would mock him. But then when his father passed away, Lord Chaitanya went to Gaya to do the last rites for his father. And there he met Ishvara Puri, who he had already met some time before and been impressed with. But then Ishvara Puri had left and they lost contact. But now he met Ishvara Puri again in Gaya. And Lord Chaitanya was initiated. And when Lord Chaitanya was initiated, he asked Ishvara Puri, his spiritual master, now I'm initiated, what should I do? And Lord Chaitanya actually suggested, should I speculate about dry, impersonal philosophy, or what should I do? And Ishvara Puri told him, no, don't do that. And he quoted famous verse. What you should do is Harir Nam, Harir Nam, Harir Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasyeva, 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 Gatir Anyata. You must chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names of Hari, Krishna. In this Kali Yuga, there's no other way, no other way, no other way, Gatir Anyata, to achieve the goal of life. And devotees, one thing you should know, listen to this. If anyone tells you there is another way in the Kali Yuga for achieving God realization, either one, they're trying to fool you, trick you, or two, they're in ignorance. Yes, only two possibilities. No matter who they may be, or who people may think they are, or how they may present themselves, they're just, either they're rascals and they're trying to cheat you, or they're in ignorance. So this is what Ishvara Puri told Lord Chaitanya. Now you're initiated, this is what you do. And so Lord Chaitanya did that. He just started chanting Hare Krishna. And now Lord Chaitanya's chanting is different from our chanting. Of course he is God, that's one thing. But the main thing is his chanting was pure, without offenses. Yes, pure chanting. And because his chanting was pure, when Lord Chaitanya, more or less immediately when he just started, he started getting amazing results and effects from his chanting. More or less immediately, he started becoming overwhelmed with different ecstatic symptoms. Crying, tears of ecstasy, body shaking uncontrollably, sometimes collapsing on the ground, unable to pronounce anything, like overpowering symptoms of spiritual ecstasy, because his chanting was just so perfect. But acting as if he was an ordinary person, Lord Chaitanya went back to Ishvara Puri the next day and said, you know, you have to help me. I'm trying to do what you've told me, but I think I'm doing something wrong. You told me to chant, so I'm trying to chant. But when I try to chant, I can't chant. Because I collapse, I faint, I can't pronounce it. You know, all these things. Please help me. Help me to solve this problem. Ishvara Puri, of course, being a great transcendentalist, he understood the situation and he just laughed. And he said, congratulations, my dear child. You have perfected your life. So from that time, Lord Chaitanya manifested himself as a devotee. And as a devotee, he was manifesting himself with great humility, always just constantly chanting. Extreme humility. If anyone said to him, you are God, he would block his ears. Just block his ears and tell them, don't say that. And he would sometimes just call out, Vishnu, 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 just stop this. Yeah, so generally Lord Chaitanya, because he's in the mood of Radharani, and now the mood of Radharani is really showing itself very dramatically. So he was in the mood of a just great devotee, and always chanting and manifesting the different symptoms, 26 qualities of a devotee. Yeah. Now, like I said, we could spend a week or more just on Lord Chaitanya, but we only have 2 days for the whole Panchatattva. So, let us move on and say a little bit about Lord Nityananda. Now, Lord Nityananda, he's the first expansion of Lord Chaitanya. He's Balaram, who's the first expansion of Lord Krishna. So he shares, basically, as Krishna has the 64 qualities, those 64 described in Nectar of Devotion. So Lord Balaram, he also has, in full, the special 4 he may not have quite as fully as Krishna has. I'm not going to go through all the qualities. If you want to read through them, they're in Nectar of Devotion, I think, chapter 20 onwards, a couple of chapters, few chapters. 64 qualities of Krishna. There are 4 special qualities which Krishna particularly has and other forms of himself do not have. One is that he has a special standard of beauty, which even though his other expansions and everyone, all his different incarnations and forms, even though they're extremely beautiful, but not like him, not like Krishna. Krishna's beauty is just outstanding and unique. When Krishna was present 5,000 years ago, when people would see him, they would faint because of his beauty. Did anyone faint when they saw you? No. One person?
Maybe out of shock.
Same with me, I have to admit. No one fainted when they saw me. But people fainted when they saw Krishna because of his beauty. Yes. Lord Balaram, he's also extremely beautiful, but not quite the same. And then second is Krishna's flute playing. Unparalleled. Balaram can also play the flute, but not quite like Krishna. When Krishna plays the flute, sometimes the river Yamuna stops and becomes like rock, and you can walk across it. And sometimes when Krishna plays the flute, rocks melt. The cow's Nectar of Devotion describes when Krishna plays the flute, sometimes the cows in the fields, they become stunned and they look like painted pictures, just frozen, suspended animation. So this is unique with Krishna. Then Krishna has pastimes which are unparalleled. All the other forms of the Lord, including Balaram, they also have amazing pastimes. Just amazing. But not like Krishna. Not like Krishna. And particularly in Nectar of Devotion, what is said is particularly Krishna's rasa dance. That rasa dance was so amazing that they started dancing, Krishna and the gopis started dancing in the evening, 7 or 8 o'clock, something like that perhaps. And they danced through the night till the sun started, showing light was coming from the horizon. So for several hours, maybe 8 hours or maybe something like that. But the gopis, their experience was like, it was just a minute. We just started dancing. What happened? and the sun's rising. Something's wrong. Yeah. Sounds, isn't it quite amazing? However, there is more to it than that. There's a lot more, which Prabhupada discusses particularly in the Krishna book. That Krishna, in order to enhance the whole experience, Krishna extended that night. Instead of being, 8 hours or whatever, your sort of average night, Krishna extended it to the length of a night of Lord Brahma. Means, devotees, fasten your seatbelts. 4,320,000,000 years. But the experience was just so, words completely fail us, but just so amazing. It seemed like a minute. And what happened to the night? Something was wrong. But it was actually 4,320,000,000 years. The pastimes of Krishna. Yes, it is beyond us, but at least we can appreciate they're really very special, the most special. And the fourth quality, and Balaram has pastimes, and he has a group of gopis. And there in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto is the description of Balaram having a rasa dance with his gopis. And it was amazing, but not like Krishna's rasa dance. And then the fourth quality is that Krishna is surrounded by devotees who have a higher degree of love than the devotees of any other form of himself. Yeah. So now Nityananda is Balaram. Yes. And Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. So there, Krishna and Balaram appearing again. But Balaram, like we mentioned, his mood is different. His mood, normal mood, is that he feels he's a devotee. So Lord Nityananda, in relation to Lord Chaitanya, he feels he is a devotee. He's completely absorbed in that, totally absorbed in the mood of a devotee and the activities of a devotee, and not really, like Lord Chaitanya, he would sometimes, his nature as the Supreme Lord would show itself. We mentioned a couple of times. With Lord Nityananda, not really. He's just completely in the mood of being a devotee. Now, we don't want to digress, but there are 6 symptoms of surrender. They appear in a verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas of Sanatana Goswami, and that verse is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. 6 symptoms of surrender. To accept whatever's favorable for Krishna consciousness, reject whatever's unfavorable, and accept Krishna as your master, accept him as your only protector, to have no interest other than his interest, and to be very meek and humble. These are the 6 symptoms of surrender. So the particular symptom in this regard of Lord Nityananda And it's the symptom of any serious devotee is to accept the mission, accept the desire of the Lord and make it my desire. So now the mood, the mission, the desire of Lord Chaitanya is Patita Pavan. Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar. That you are the deliverer of the fallen, Patita Pavana, Tava Avatar. That is why you have come. So, Lord Nityananda, understanding this is the mood of his Lord, Lord Chaitanya. Lord Nityananda accepted that mood. So Lord Nityananda, he led the Sankirtan movement actually. Lord Chaitanya sort of got it started, but then Lord Nityananda led the Sankirtan movement. And even when Lord Chaitanya left Navadvip and he went towards South India, then he ended up in Jagannath Puri and stayed in Jagannath Puri, Lord Nityananda continued the Sankirtan movement, mainly. Actually went with Lord Chaitanya to Puri, but Lord Chaitanya after a little while sent him back. That now you must continue the Sankirtan movement. So Lord Nityananda, because it's the desire, the mission of his Lord, Lord Chaitanya, so Lord Nityananda accepted that as his life and soul. So they had two people with one desire, to deliver the fallen. And therefore, we mentioned Jagai and Madai. In that pastime, Lord Nityananda, he was so much into just delivering the fallen souls. He would go out every day. Him and Haridas Thakur, they went out together preaching. And they would knock on people's doors. Knock on the door. Person would open the door. They'd fall on the ground at the feet of that person. And they would say, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Yeah. Chant Krishna, worship Krishna, follow Krishna's instructions. Yeah. And then they get up and go to the next door. They wouldn't spend time and chat. How are you doing? They just say, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. That's all they do. And then get up and go to the next house. And particularly Lord Nityananda's specialty was locating people who were especially degraded. He didn't really care about people who were just normal degraded, average degraded, average fallen. He specialized in finding people who were just totally fallen. And then when he heard about Jagai and Madai, then he decided, that's it. We got to deliver them because it's Lord Chaitanya's mission. Got to deliver them. And then if we can deliver them in the name of Lord Chaitanya, then people will accept. Lord Chaitanya is Patita Pavan. If we can't deliver them, then how can our Lord be known as Patita Pavan? So we have to. So he went and he tried, and he used his normal strategy. He just walked up to them. Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. They were very intoxicated. And they were like, what? So then they chased him and Haridas Thakur. It's a long story. We could have a seminar about Lord Nityananda for a week too. It's a long story. But the next day, Haridas Thakur was maybe 20 years older. At least 10 or 15. He was, quite a bit older. And he didn't like this because it was too dangerous. So, but Nitai insisted. The next day he just headed straight over there. And again, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna, Shiksha. And then Madhai attacked him. Madhai struck him with a piece of a broken clay pot and hit him on the head. And blood came, a lot of blood. Even though Lord Nityananda has a transcendental body with no veins, but if he wants blood to come, blood will come. And blood came, a lot of blood. And that's when Lord Chaitanya came, we mentioned, with the chakra, and he was just going to cut them, not just decapitate them, but cut them into little pieces and throw the pieces to the crocodiles. Because, anyway, okay, that's what he was going to do. But Nityananda stopped him and said, no, my Lord, you're Patita Pavan, and this is them. They are the ones. They are the most fallen. We have to deliver them. But Lord Chaitanya was still going to just destroy them. And Nityananda said, give them to me. Let me take them. I'll take responsibility for them. And so Lord Chaitanya agreed, all right, you take them. And, again, it's another one of our many long stories. We have so many. But they became very nice devotees. Actually, really by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Yeah, and therefore it's said that demon who Lord Ram might kill, Krishna might spare his life. But that demon that Krishna might kill, Lord Chaitanya would spare his life. The example was the Chanakazi. In his previous life, he was Kamsa, and Krishna killed him. Now he's the Chanakazi, and Lord Chaitanya didn't kill him. Didn't exactly make him a devotee, but he made him favorable to the devotees. He remained a Muslim. So, and that devotee, that demon, who even Lord Chaitanya would kill, Lord Nityananda would spare his life, and not just spare his life, but give him pure love of God. This is Nityananda. Why? Because he has accepted the desire of Lord Chaitanya and made it his own desire and mission. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes a very interesting point that we see in this pastime of the deliverance of Jagai and Madai, that Lord Nityananda had that desire to deliver more than Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was going to kill them. But he had, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, if you want to understand who is a person, what, any particular individual, who are they? What are they? What sort of person? You have to understand their desires and their mission in life, what they want in life. Then you can understand the person. So who is Lord Chaitanya? Patita Pavan. And who is Lord Nityananda? He is the servant of Patita Pavan. And so therefore he is Patita Pavan. His desire is the same as Lord Chaitanya's desire. That means there's a oneness, a type of oneness between them in terms of who they are and what they are. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that because Lord Nityananda was more, he had that essential desire more than Lord Chaitanya, which is the essence of the being of Lord Chaitanya. So he says Lord Nityananda was more one with Lord Chaitanya than Lord Chaitanya was one with himself. Yes. So Nityananda, very amazing devotee, and just so much desiring to deliver the fallen conditioned souls, because it's the mission of Lord Chaitanya, and he is the servant of Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. Go Premanande.
His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami ki
Jai.
Haribol.
Okay, thank you very much. So, we've covered Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, so therefore tomorrow we'll be doing 3 more. So who else are we still missing? Who? Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar and Srivastava. Good, just seeing if you were all paying attention. So thank you very much, Maharaj. We're going to, I think we'll maybe just have a few minutes of kirtan before we serve prasadam, if that's okay. Maybe 10 minutes or something, and then we're going to serve prasadam. And then we'd like you all to please come back again tomorrow, same time, same place, 6:30 till 8:30, 9, something like that. And then, anyway, we'll carry on letting you know what's going to be going on throughout the rest of the weekend. But please come back again tomorrow for part 2. Okay. Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yogya ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanande.
Whoever wants, I mean, this is a bit esoteric, but whoever wants tomorrow morning in Sunderland, 29 Chatsworth Street, we will be chanting japa there in the morning from, whatever time, 5:30 or so. So whoever would like to come to Sunderland and join us.
You are saying this online, we might get people coming from all around the world.
Sure. Fly in. There's room. But you're welcome to come and join us at the house of Chaitanya Vallabha Prabhu and Jagannath Ishwari Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Would you like to chant Hare Krishna?
Okay. I'll just hold it. So let's stand up, everyone, and have a little kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.